In the previous episode, I sailed past the Whitsunday Islands to Queen's Beach and on to Cape Upstart. Here I take the opportunity to sail offshore again to Stanley Reef on the western edge of the Great Barrier Reef. I had been looking for an opportunity to get to this famous reef system for a while, but it always seemed too windy. However, a brief period of high pressure and calm winds was forecast, so I looked on satellite views for a reef to visit, as these are not covered in the coastal guide. I settled on Stanley Reef, shown here with an obvious open passage on the north side that leads well into the reef, and a sandy patch with not too many bommies near the south edge for anchoring. While it was rather nerve-wracking to go into such an isolated place on my own, I really wanted to see part of the Great Barrier Reef, and with these satellite views in my anchoring app, I was confident I could avoid the coral.
Well, it's Friday the 12th. Got a nice easy sail over here from Cape Upstart. And as promised, the winds are moderate, light, flat sea. Sun's just rising and got a beautiful clear sky because it's high pressure. So winds should continue to die through till tomorrow. Well, this is the reef, Stanley Reef, and I have at least 3 humpbacks right in front of me. I'm not sure. Yeah, when one's there with a calf. I'm not so sure what to do here. Maybe a thin green line over there. That's where I'm headed to anchor. Here's a patch of it over here, a little thin green stripe. You don't want to hit those. There's been a whole bunch of bommies on the way in. So I'm just not sure what to do about these humpbacks. I mean, I assume they'll get out of my way, but it was the guy the other night who came charging at us. See if they come up again here. Still going in front of us. This is not good. I want them to turn and come back out of our way. Alright, I have to go steer a little bit. This is the coral bank with the sandy spot behind it that I want to anchor on. You see 2 bommies here right in front of us, so I'm going to split those and go up.
Here is our track on my iSailor chart, and with this level of detail it would be really challenging getting in here. But the track on my anchor alarm with satellite view shows how we followed my planned approach and then went to the sandy patch behind a large bank of coral to anchor on my second attempt. Obviously, having a clear sunny day is also crucial to avoiding the coral by sight.
Anchored, beautiful sand, 25 feet deep, nice wide clear patch here, and the breeze is still blowing harder than forecast. I would say it's blowing 15 in the southeast, but that's okay. Protected from any serious chop by this big bank of coral here. And let's see, which side shall I go? I'll go around this way quickly. And on this side we have a big bommy behind us over here. Just see it. And another big bommy over there. And another one there and another one there. And we came in between those guys. These dark patches here are much deeper. I went over a bunch of them. They're 25, 30 feet deep.
We started out sitting nicely to the southerly breeze, but as the high pressure moved over us, swung almost completely around. In the morning, I could see the anchor right below us and the chain on the bottom curling around as we had swung about.
Look at this. Bet not many people get to see this. Absolutely stunning. Flat, calm sea in the reef. Wow. Not quite as perfectly flat as Tahania in Tuamotu atolls, but it's pretty close. There's just the slightest breeze making ripples, and then there are just, you can just even see them, the slightest swells coming through from all directions. hence giving us a little bit of a roll, but yeah, not exactly going to complain about that. Well, that was 12 hours of sleep. I really needed that apparently. So let's see, there it is. There she comes. Our planet keeps spinning. Hello, sunshine. Gonna be a gorgeous day. There's some nice snorkeling and then I'll head out.
I was so glad I had taken the opportunity provided by this transient high pressure to come out to this reef. Although it wasn't really needed that night, I had taken the opportunity to try out a roll stabilizing system.
This is my first attempt at an anti-roll device. The spinnaker pole. It's actually a double bucket, a stiff one within a flexible one, holes in the bottom, and a chain with a weight. And the other one, I've got a duplicate, I'm going to do with the anchor chain. Put it on the end of the boom. I'm not sure whether they work, but at least psychologically they're helpful. I had a turn on the boat last night when I got up and star washed. No matter how much I chased it, it would go to the boom, to the bow, to the boom, to the bow. And this is the result. Well, it's Saturday the 13th. And I am snorkeling on the outer reef. I haven't quite screwed up the courage to go right over the edge to the blue there, but maybe I will later. But it's been quite nice in here. Just before I turn around, that's Cape Upstart again. This is very shallow, but deep enough that I can motor across it at low tide. And back behind us here, you can see sea change. But I explored a couple of channels here, gullies in the reef. One of them had a large sleeping sand shark in it, or nurse shark or something like that. And as I swam by it, a reef shark came in. And I decided, nope, not comfortable with reef sharks anymore. So I pulled out of that one and went to another one. And now I'm going to go down this way once I've warmed up. And I'm going to explore a gully that goes out into the open and see if I can go on the outside of the reef. It's very safe because the breeze is blowing straight in and the tide is just changing. It's full low tide now. There'll be high tide coming in. It should be great water clarity.
The channel I was aiming for is on the right in this view. It was amazing to me that even at low tide I could drift across the outer reef. Indeed, there was nowhere in this reef that was exposed at low tide. Once beyond the reef, I snorkeled along the edge.
Alright, here we are. Outside the reef, open ocean, the wind, which was light, has just much died completely. There's the edge of the reef. Sea change in the distance. Hopefully you can just see the brownness of the edge of the reef. And yeah, spectacular fish here and no sharks, which is really nice.
That is until I got into the channel where 3 more grey reef sharks took too much interest in me, and after my bad experiences with them in Beveridge Reef and then Whakarava and Tahania atolls, I clambered back into the dinghy. Here is our track drifting across the reef, but for some reason the return track via the channel was not recorded. It is always a relief to get back to Sea Change, and this is one of the prettiest pictures I have of her.
I'm preparing to leave at 1 o'clock, red tide, and here's the close by wide open coral section that presumably is the cause of all the sand down here that we've been nicely anchored in. And you see the deeper water on the other side. I'm going to go out a slightly different route. I'm going to try to take that gap over there and then out that way. What a wonderful place.
Not far outside the reef, I caught this lovely tuna. In the next episode, I sail back to the mainland and into Townsville for a short visit.